Okay, Greg the Leg got it done. Good for Greg Joseph, man. You know, I've been as hard on him as any Vikings fan. I was calling for him to be cut. I was I got as mad as anybody about all those missed PATs, and doesn't mean he's never going to miss a kick again, but I mean, all credit, man. Like 61 yards, franchise record. I didn't even realize it was franchise record. I guess it beat. I think Paul Edinger might have held the record before then. But yeah, great. I mean, great finish. What a finish to the home schedule. This was. I mean, nothing. We knew nothing was going to top last week, because I mean that was historic, like incredibly historic. But grinding over the snow. I'm so sick of this shit already. But it was never going to top that. But this ended up being a pretty good finish. I thought it was a pretty ugly game most of the way. Like I think we've had some of these closer games this year that've been a little more aesthetically pleasing than this. But like I was really frustrated. Like I'm sure every Vikings fan was incredibly frustrated by this defense today, because it was bad. Like they were really bad. Like they've given up more points in games this year a few times, but this was like a bottom 3 defensive performance. I think today they were really, really bad in this game. And I barely got a lane here. Why don't I get into this lane? Don't get this person mad at me. Oh, driving in this shit. I hate it. I blame every Minnesotan who's like, oh, I want a white Christmas. It's the monkey's paw curl. That's what happened now. You all wanted a white Christmas, and look at the shit that we dealt with weather-wise last few weeks. But anyway, this is back to the Vikings. Defense was really bad today. Like it kind of reminded me of the Detroit game a couple weeks ago, because that game we started okay, a little bit on defense, first few drives, and then it was just awful the whole rest of the game. The difference today is we got a couple of turnovers, and we got 1 or 2 sacks in key spots. Somewhat similar to what other defensive games this year have been. But yeah, I mean, I was really getting frustrated with the defense, especially with we're facing another mobile quarterback. Daniel Jones can run, and we seemed unprepared for him to run, and he just kind of, we just left the field wide open. We were pressuring early, and then we just stopped. I don't know what Donatel's deal was. We were getting pressure early in the game and really getting to him, and then we just stopped even trying. I don't know what that was about. I don't understand that approach. It didn't seem like it was something the Giants did to adjust. It was we were adjusting against ourselves. But we had a 10-zip lead because we got it going a little bit on offense. Hawkinson, boy, they were feeding Hawkinson today. I think he caught 13 passes. It was for over 100 yards, and he left a couple out on the field. There was one real nice one early that could have been about a 20-yarder that just got broken up. Credit to the Giants. They got some guys in their secondary who really compete out there. They could have been even more for him. We're up 10-0, and then we just we get the fumble on, looks like the Giants are going to go right down the field on us and tie the game up. But we get the fortuitous turnover, the fumble, and Asamoah returns it, and then we get a field goal out of it. I'm obviously hoping we get more, but I mean, you push it to a 2-score game, that's pretty good at that point. But then it was just, that was it for a while, and then we just kind of went into that shell that, I thought there was a lot of bad execution on offensive points in this game. I don't know what our deal is with these short yardage plays, like if it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 2, whatever it is. We are not a good team in that spot, because there was we went for I think it was a 3rd and 1 on one of the drives, and it's like a deep throw or a semi-deep throw. And then there was, of course, later in the game, I think it was in the 4th quarter, the 4th and 2, just inside the 50. And again, they're throwing deep, and that probably should have been a catch. Like, it was real close. We had two guys down there. I'm not sure who Kirk was going for, but I mean that probably should have been a completion. But still, it's like, God, why are we so bad in these situations? That was a huge spot in the game because I think we were up 4, and we're turning the ball over to them on downs, near the 50. Not that it really mattered at points in this game, particularly in the second half. All right, we got ramps, dangerous ramps, slippery ramps. I don't know what it is about this team with these short yardage plays, but and it's like, we were able to keep it to 10-7 at the half. It looked like we were maybe even going to be trailing. Like they didn't, then they tie up the game. We had another third quarter that was just not good. It wasn't as bad as some of the third quarters we've had, but we didn't score in the third quarter. But again, like it's happened a couple times now. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, just get to the fourth quarter. Just get to the fourth quarter. Like, and it's again the fourth quarter. This cannot be, the stuff with this Vikings team this year in the fourth quarter cannot be explained. We get an interception. The Pat P interception. I can't remember if that was actually in the third or the fourth, but like the one play. He had a rough day for Pat P. He had a really rough day. Oh man, we've got traffic going onto the freeway, so I guess I'm going to have a lot of time to recap this game again. Oh man. But really rough game for Pat P. But he got that big pick. That was a really big play. There was also the I think it was in the fourth quarter. I should like keep notes during the game so that when I do this I can. All right, are you getting over or what's going on here? I'm just gonna. All right. The Kirk interception. Where he threw a bad pick. I mean, it was terrible throw. I don't know what he was thinking. He had I think JJ pretty wide open down the left side, and he threw over the middle to Thielen, who didn't make the catch. I mean, it's not on Thielen. It was just a really, it was arguably one of the worst decisions of the year by Kirk. But by just a piece of the football, it gets overturned. And we get the reprieve, and that was obviously one of the biggest plays of the game. We go down 13-10. It's like then we eke into the fourth quarter, and I'm kind of confident. I'm just confident in this team. And we didn't even play one of our good fourth quarters this year. We played way better fourth quarters than this. And our opponents have played worse fourth quarters than this. I thought the Giants actually played pretty good in the fourth quarter, all things considered. The big swing in the fourth quarter was the block punt by Metellus. We don't get that. I mean, maybe we still get him, but hell, they even hit the field goal of 55-yarder, because God forbid an opposing kicker ever misses. And I'm not gonna complain about kickers making stuff, because every Giants fan right now is lamenting that our guy hit a 61-yarder. But man, it'd be nice if one of these opposing kickers could miss one of these. Like, I think I could be wrong. I think there've only been like 2 misses against us the whole year. I think the Detroit game and then the double doink against the Saints. But these guys just can't miss on us. But yeah, I didn't think we played that great in the fourth quarter. All things considered, this time we had a obviously we had the 4th and 2 play that didn't work out, and our defense was not very good in the fourth. Like that last drive, we get the block punt, we get the second Hawkinson touchdown. Arguable there if we should have gone for 2. There could have been a strategic advantage to going for 2 there, because if you go for 2 and make it, you're up 9, and then they need obviously 2 possessions to get you. But I mean, it's very disheartening to watch this defense just implode like they did at that last drive there. Giving up wide open passes like I don't know how many ones of these you just threw I don't know if it was to the running back or receivers just out in the flat, and they're just wide open by 10 yards. I mean, it's so easy for these opposing quarterbacks sometimes on our defense. And then of course I thought that was a good call. They had we had them 4th and 2. They weren't going to go for a field goal at that point. I thought that was actually a pretty slick call that they made on the draw to Barkley. I mean, hell, they were running on us. I mean, hell, they were running the same running play. It was like a run just to the right with Barkley every single time they were running that thing. They were getting 5 or 6 yards. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty smart call by the Giants, actually. Get that Fortunately, I mean, I'm sure some Giants fans are probably saying, well, we don't like that happened because now gave the Vikings too much time. That's what I'm thinking. They go, they barely get the 2. Pat Pete almost got the breakup at the back of the end zone. So it's 24-24. And, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, all right, fuck this stupid defense. Go win the game, Kirk. And didn't look like that was going to happen, at first, because, we're not moving the ball. Huge 3rd down. I couldn't really see it too well from my vantage point. The 3rd down play to Jefferson to kind of get that thing started, and give us some hope there at the end. But, if we had punted, that had been incomplete, and we had punted the ball back, boy, there would have still been, I think, over a minute left, and they had timeouts. Like, it was really going to be tough to picture a scenario where we were going to hold them to not even a field goal try. But once you get the JJ catch, then you're like, okay, we could try to do something. And then again, it didn't look like it was going to happen because I believe Kirk was sacked or maybe it was like a short run or something. But they executed the end of that game very, very well with that little pass out to JJ, and he got every yard he could get, got down so they could get up and spike it and break for 61. I wasn't even watching that like thinking that he was gonna miss. It's not that even I have like renewed confidence in Joseph coming into that. It's just like, well, I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that we were going to OT for the 2nd straight week, so it's worth a shot. I mean, we tried a Hail Mary earlier in the game, the end of the first half, and Kirk didn't even get a chance to throw the Hail Mary because he got sacked almost immediately because we didn't protect Kirk well at all today. He was hurried a lot. He still threw for like, I think 299 and 3. Like, and yeah, he had that by a piece of the football. He had a really bad interception wiped off the board, but it was another fantastic game from Kirk, I thought, because he wasn't getting any help from pass protection. And we weren't running. I think I saw we had like 19 carries in a game that was obviously decided on the last play of the game. It was close the whole way, and obviously we had a lead for a chunk of the game. It's one of KOC's Achilles heels is he doesn't stick with the run, even when it's working. Like, it was kind of working today. I think Dalvin had like 64 yards or something like that. He was running okay. He passed who did he pass? Chuck Foreman on the Vikings all-time rush list, and JJ broke the team record for receiving yards in a season. Broke Randy Moss's record. They got that out of the way pretty early. He moved up. They were showing the all-time single-season list. He moved up like 5 or 6 spots today. He's I've never seen a guy like JJ who like has a quiet, like he caught 12 passes for 133 yards today. I would not have thought that. I would have thought, what did he get today? Like maybe like 70 or 80 yards. No, he had a $133. Like, and it was quiet. Like, I mean, he had that big touchdown late to put him up 8. Tremendous catch over the middle. But I mean, it's just you never see it. You never see a guy get 12 for 133, and it's like that's a quiet game for a guy. It's unbelievable. And Hawkinson just a huge game, really big game. Had a couple nice, I think 1 or 2 nice little screens to Hawkinson that were really good. This game really shouldn't have been close. I mean, that's kind of been the story of a lot of these games. We made them closer than they needed to be. This one probably shouldn't have been as close. I don't know why we went away from the stuff that was working on defense early. I don't know why we do some of the things that we do with some of these short yardage play calls. Especially when it's like a 4th down, man. All you got to do there is just move the chains. I didn't even like kind of towards the very end on the JJ touchdown drive there after the blocked punt. I didn't even like some of the stuff we were doing there. Like we're throwing the ball a lot. Like we're not running the ball. Like, eat the clock. Eat the damn clock. I don't know why we do that sometimes. It's just there's some situational things. And he's a rookie head coach, so it's like, and he's gotten us 12 wins. I'm not down on KFC at all. It's just there's flaws in his game, just like there's flaws in a player's game, and stuff to be worked on. But again, like they get to the 4th quarter, and we had some magic left. We weren't perfect. Like this team, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like you watch it for 3 quarters and you see one team, and then the 4th quarter it's a completely different team. That's happened a couple times this year. But they do just a little bit. They just do a little bit of the right stuff. They get a blocked punt. They maybe get a sack here or there. Like just these little things. Like even like when it was 17-13, we hold them to a field goal, a long field goal. Like at least we get that. At least we stop. At least we make a little stop there to. That's pretty much like the ceiling for this defense this year. It's just you get lit up, but you also make situationally some big plays. Maybe get a big turnover or a big sack or something like that. And that's what they've been doing all year, pretty much, except for a couple of clunkers. But they didn't have the hangover. I don't know why. They didn't have the hangover from the Indy game. That was a concern that because we had the Buffalo game and then go into the Dallas game. But this one it was a little sleepy early. I mean, it was just punts. I think the first 4 drives, but they got it going. Like they play well. And the Giants are okay. Like the Giants could have clinched a playoff spot today. I believe if they had won, they would have clinched a playoff spot because Detroit. Hey, Detroit. Where's that? Will the media still be hyping up the Detroit Lions like crazy this week? Will they still be ahead of the Vikings in power rankings after they gave up 250 yards rushing in the first half and got just destroyed by the Sam Darnold Panthers? I've been really annoyed by the coverage of the Lions the last few weeks. Like they're really hyping the hell out of these guys. Oh shit! Don't fear me. Oh, somehow we got multiple cars that are stolen. Oh, at least my good ride never stalled out in this cold weather. Yeah, the Giants. I mean, the Giants are still. There's still a very good chance the Giants. We might be playing the Giants again here in 3 weeks for first round of the playoffs. They're still in the 6, and I guess Washington will stay in the 7th no matter what they do today because Seattle lost and then Detroit lost. So Green Bay's coming. Green Bay's suddenly eking back into this just because these other teams are bad, but that might be an elimination game for last week of the season. Green Bay and Chicago, or Green Bay and Detroit. That would be fun. And the Vikings keep the 2 seed. 2 seed is secure for another week. I don't know what's going on with the San Francisco game right now. They were probably going to win, but who knows? Philly would have to lose out for us to get the 2 seed, or for us to get the 1 seed. That's not going to happen. So I don't even worry about that. Yeah, I mean, hell of a way to finish the home schedule. And we broke the record, I think, for the most 1-score wins in a season, because I think that was 11 now. To be fair, like 8 points used to not be a 1-score game, so there might be something in there, but because we got 1 or 2 8-point wins this year, but this team is just they're gutty. Like, they don't play perfect games at all. Like, they're not even close. But they grinded. They grind this one out. This was a grinder. You're facing a very desperate team. Maybe not desperate because they're still in a good playoff position. But again, they could have clinched a playoff spot today. They obviously want to get in, and we denied that for a week. And Greg Joseph, man, 61 yards. He's certainly earned his spot for the rest of the season. We will reassess things in the future, but he's definitely earned his keep. What I hear, he's made like 14 straight field goals, and he made all those PATs last week. If he had missed one of those PATs last week in that comeback, we would not have come back. But he got the job done. 61 yards. 12-3. I had them on 11 wins this year. They have officially exceeded my expectations. That's pretty rare. I usually veer towards the side of being overly optimistic about the Vikings. So a season where the Vikings exceed my win prediction. I'm sure 2017 they did, but this is pretty rare territory. This is a hell of a season. I said the other day, I tweeted out that no matter what this season ends up being, this is a special team. This is a very special team in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. And I put them in terms of just how memorable the season has been and how entertaining and all this. I've absolutely put this season up there with the greats like 98 and 2009, and I guess 2017 got one in there too. Now maybe we'll have if we have a Minneapolis Miracle type of playoff game, and there's no reason to think that the first week of the playoffs won't be some sort of emotional hellscape. We have a chance to go even higher in the rankings. I mean, I've never seen him in a Super Bowl. I've only seen him get to NFC Championship games. But I would already put this season on par with like 98 and 09. I would, because so many, and a lot of seasons today would have been like the number one game. Like, oh my God, remember that Giants game? And now this is even top 5 for how memorable and how weird and entertaining the game was. It might not even make the top 5. It certainly ain't in the top 2. But this is a special football team, and we got 2 more weeks to go on the road. Green Bay's still going to be in it. We could eliminate the Packers next week. That would be another little capper to this. And then we got the Bears the final week. Who knows what's going to happen there? But this is a special football team that we've got here this season, and this was just a tremendous final bit to the home schedule, and I can't wait to see what this team has in store when we get to the playoffs. And we've got 2 weeks left. I mean, there could still be some craziness in Lambeau. Something tells me Greg probably would have trouble hitting a 61-yarder in Lambeau, but maybe we won't need that. So I'm just about done here with my driving over the heavy snow. So hey, Merry Christmas to all the Vikings fans. We did the whiteout. We got the whiteout thing going today. It looked pretty cool having all the white everything in the whole stadium today. But that was a lot of fun. We did the whiteout. We got the win. 12-3. This team just keeps getting it done. No matter how haphazardly they may do it, they keep getting it done. And now Greg Joseph got a real signature moment as a Vikings kicker. Usually those signature moments are bad, but this was a good one, and good for him. And yes, Merry Christmas, Vikings fans. Happy holidays. We can all celebrate the win because that was another good one. And we will see y'all on the next video.